Goes it, ladies and gents, and whatever you are. I don't know why I said that like that. But yeah, we're back today and we're talking about, of course, Throne and Liberty. There's gonna be gameplay. It's the first time I've done a video like this, I'm pretty sure. But I just felt like doing it, and I'm testing things out and shit like that. So I decided to do one of these videos where I just talk about the game, complain about the game while the game's actually running in the background. This was basically me just today doing the randomest, most fucking bullshit that you have to do in the game to get power level. That's the only way you can take it up, is do contracts, do raids. If you can, do tier 1 and tier 2, but yeah, that's normally not working out great. And then you just heat up the dungeons to get rid of the coins, basically, and hope for random good drops. Now, let's start the game. Well, with the game, of course. I love the game. It's a pretty cool game. I do really like it. I like the grind that you have to put in, and all of the things that they're adding in the game. Of course, the game's a little bit fucky after the new server merges, because all of these fucking sewer rats that don't leave their mom's basements know exactly where a tree spawns, and they just stand around that tree and fucking snipe it when everyone else also needs to collect shit. Which is a weird thing to do, in my honest opinion, because people do actually do it in the game. It's not something I'm just making up. If I made it up, I would fucking be laughing right now, but it's an actual thing that people do in the game. They literally spawn camp resources that you need to mine just to complete the contract, which is weird. And I promise you, I've seen people just waiting there, and then the tree or whatever, the star tree or fucking mushrooms or whatever spawns in, and they actually do that, then they just harvest that and they continue to stand there, which is a weird thing to do. I call these guys the sewer rats because they're fucking stinking of sweat and no shower, and I can just fucking smell them when I see them. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, like I said, I love the game, but it's one of the shittiest communities out there. The people in this game are so dumb. I don't know what they expect. So let's jump into it. You've got different types of dungeons. I'm going to call it T0 is the one with no stars, which is basically just blue gear that drops from the dungeon. It's a co-op dungeon that you head in with 6 party members, including yourself. And then you do the mechanics, defeat the boss. If there's even mechanics, most of the things you can just fucking outperform by having a healer. You do that shit, you get your blue drop, whatever, and you're happy about that. You can, I'm pretty sure, loot them 3 times after completing the dungeon, and it takes a few coins each time. Then you get the tier 1 dungeons, which is basically the enemies are a bit stronger, the power level requirement's a bit higher, and of course you also have 6 party members, including yourself. They go in, do the same weird boss thing, but you get purple drops this time. Now each boss drops different things, different equipment that one might need, of course, and it's a good way to grind out your traits, because each weapon you have has 3 slots for trait. If it's a purple weapon, of course. I'm pretty sure blues also have it and shit, but only worry about it about purple weapons. And then basically if you get the same weapon with a trait you don't have yet, you can combine them two and put the trait on one of them. Basically that's just a thing you can do in the game, which is really helpful. Now, of course, tier 0 and tier 1, it's fine. People are not as sweaty in that, but it's when you reach tier 2, which requires you to be above 2500 power level, that the actual sweaty little fucking sewer rat bastards come out to play. Now, I am by no means strong in the game. I think I'm now 700 power level over the requirement for this dungeon. But of course you get the no lives that basically grind this game, that played it since it came out. By the way, it's not available in my country. That's all I'm going to say. So I got the game a little late, of course, and I had to start grinding. So I feel like my power level is really good for when I actually started playing the game. But yeah, then you get these little sewer rats, the little Karen rats that like to complain when someone does less damage than them, because they haven't been fucking grinding the game since it came out day 1, and they haven't reached the pinnacle of shit yet, because there's only a certain amount of things you can do in the game to actually put up your power level or level up your gear or actually put those traits on. Once those coins are finished and you only get a certain amount each day, you can't actually level that shit any further. Now that's a huge thing that happens in this game, and people seem to forget that other people are new in the game. So you get all of these little bitch boys, bitch girls, whatever you want to fucking call them, the little sewer rats that always jump onto their keyboard first chance they get, and they're like, oh, kick this guy, kick this guy, kick this guy. instead of just doing that, I at least know the mechanics of tier 2 bosses because I have beaten a few of them. It's just my teammates that helped me beat them were fucking wham, alright? They actually did so much damage against the bosses. Now, so I know the mechanics. And then you get the little 4.2 sewer rats. You have 4.2k sewer rats that don't know how weak they are actually compared to other 4.2kers. And then they think they're this strong, and then each time something happens, they blame the guy with the lowest power level or the lowest level gear, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And that's actually something that is fucking gonna make this game die. You can't have new people join the game if you cry like a little bitch, like your life is on the line each time you die to a boss. Now, I'm not no stranger to games with raids. I played fucking Destiny 2 since the day it released. Alright, I don't play it anymore because that game became, of course, pay to win. You have to have microtransactions each and every day just to make sure you can play the latest things. Otherwise, you're just gonna never reach the power cap. Or also, you reach the power cap, but you have nothing to do because you can't do the shit. The new shit, like, let's say co-op, competitive, or, you know, I don't know, PvP. You can't do Trials of Osiris if you don't have the latest DLC, which I feel like is a huge loss of a player base that they did. But of course, this game's a little bit different. No DLCs have been sold yet. I'm pretty sure the update that's coming tomorrow is going to be free for all, so everyone can, you know, get the stuff and things and just enjoy the game. But of course, like I said, you know, the game's gonna die out soon if these little fucking swamp ninjas that smell like absolute fucking horse shit, you know, don't get out of their mom's basements and give the people that don't play the game a lot some time to catch up. And of course, you can say, like most of them say, why don't you max out your traits or max out your power level before you do tier 2 dungeons? Now, I'm doing the base tier 2 dungeons. The gear I need is in the base tier 2 dungeons, especially for traits, and there's still a shoe I need. I think it's like the wolf fur, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I still need that to maximize my build, but of course I can't get that because these little scrubs keep crying to their mothers each and every time something happens. I also play on lag. That's another factor I need to, of course, put into the whole calculation of what the fuck am I going to do now. So, you know, most things are going to hit me. That's just how it works. I can't fucking preemptive dodge most things. I do have luck chances here and there where I actually dodge the shit, but it's honestly really hard with lag. People won't understand if you never had lag before. It's actually difficult to play a game if that shit happens. But yeah, I mean, you can't level up in the game if you are restricted access from a certain part of the game. Now, I know you get different tiers of tier 2 dungeons, like you can up the level tier 1, tier 3, tier 5. I think it goes all the way to tier 20 or something like that, where it drastically makes the game more difficult. You know, I know that's a thing that you can do, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm still doing base of everything. So when you do base of everything, people should expect you to have the minimum amount of things, which is basically full purple gear and at least above 2,500. That's just how it is. No one started the game at 3,500 or at 4,200. All of them had to grind there to get there, and I'm also grinding, but you know, it makes it harder when you have little bitch ass pussies just fucking crying into the chat the entire time and kicking you for no specific reason because they are fucking stupid. You know, I like I said, I do know the mechanics. The mechanics are not hard at all. Destiny 2 mechanics were way harder and way more intellectual power was required to actually do the things in Destiny, and way more cooperation was required to do the things in Destiny. So like I said, it's not a concept of it's hard. It's just a concept of people are bitching and moaning because they think they have some power. Like yesterday, let me give you an example. I was doing the raid with the little fucking goblin man, alright? Tier 2 raid, goblin man. Not the first time doing this piece of shit, but I really want the boots. So I went in there, and as you know, the final boss. Okay, now, let's just start at the first one. So you have that little memory puzzle thing. I fucking hate it. It's such a dumb thing. I can't see behind me. So, and I can't go around fast enough and remember everything to see everything. So that's already a weird fucking mechanic to have, but I still have my luck with it, so that's fine. The next thing you have, of course, is the platform mini boss, where you jump on the platform, he drops bombs, you can hit the bombs off, which most people didn't actually know. That's the weird part. The 4.2Kers don't know you can just fucking hit off the bomb. They stand there, they look at it, they die, and then they blame someone else like the healer or something. Because of course, zero intellectual power is needed for being 4.2K. It's just grind. So the people at 4.2K are probably dumber than you, by the way, and they just think they are something different because they have this high power level. I don't know why I'm getting so into it, but this really pissed me off. All right, and then the final boss, you know, he's got the two main mechanics. He does his little spinny thing. If you're close to him, it doesn't do damage to you. If you're far away from him, it does more damage to you. And then he has the one where he locks, I think it's 4 players to pillars, and he goes around and smacks each pillar with like an AoE, and you have to be outside that AoE to not instantly die. So the people on the pillars need to run away. He's also got this neat thing where he throws out an axe towards one of them that spins on the ground, and you need to outrun this axe because it's chasing you, which is also fucking stupid because it does a lot of damage. So let's get back into it. So you know, I'm busy fighting this goblin. Myself and I get teleported twice in a row, because the first time I got teleported, I ran away from the axe. Why did I say X? The axe, and I got away from it without taking any damage. And then I ran outside the barrier, but because I was running away from the axe, I was out of stamina. So on my screen, I was just outside of the barrier, like the little AoE range thing, for it to hit me and kill me. But because of my lag, it literally went off. My character, in a split second, got teleported back, and then after his attack was done and he was already looking somewhere else, I got damage numbers and fucking died. And the guy got pissed off at that, and he's like, kick instantly, please. Kick instantly. I am a 4.2K and I do so many things, and I am such a good guy in this game. Oh no, you must kick. Fuck you. Whoever you are. You know who you were. You know who you were. There's only one bitch ass pussy that moans this much, and that has to be you. So if you ever see this video, I hope you fucking stub your toe so hard it breaks. Alright? Alright. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So they asked me, do you know the mechanics? I said yes. It's because of lag that I died. I got lagged backwards. Sorry about that. Won't happen again. The next time, this little bitch did the same thing to me. I got teleported to a pillar. I was running away from the pillar, from the little axe thing, and then I got hit by the axe accidentally, and I ran out of stamina and I just died. It's not such a big deal, you know, it's something that happens. And this guy went into chat again and said, kick please. Now let me tell you what class this guy was running. He was supposed to be the healer, although he didn't heal anyone because he had the wand and the book, or whatever you want to call it, and he had a lance or a fucking magic stick or something. Everything required to do damage as far away from as possible from the boss, because you can't take any damage and have absolute fucking zero skill. That's just the truth. If you can't fight right next to the boss with your loadout, it's probably because somewhere in your past you realized, I don't have any skill in close quarter battles, so I'm gonna stay back, which is fine. But don't fucking act all high and mighty that you don't die because you're so far away from the boss that he doesn't even hit you most of the time, because he mostly hits the tank and the DPS dealers that are actually in front, of course. Again, he was supposed to be the healer. He didn't heal anyone once during that entire ordeal. That entire dungeon, there's people, I swear, that take that class just because they want to fill the healer spot, and then they don't use the abilities. It's just there for convenience, which I hate, because that's another thing that happens in dungeons. People say they're healers, they're not healers, and then you are stuck without a healer, which is very annoying on most bosses, because most of them have AoE attacks that happen maybe once or twice during the entire ordeal that you actually need healers for if you want to cheese through it. And if you don't know you don't have a healer, because I'm not gonna look at everyone's fucking little loadout thing in this side, because most of them have put it to private or hidden, which is, why would you want to hide weapon stats inside a game? Are you fucking dumb? It's just one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life of people doing. So I know I've been ranting for 50 minutes. Just stick with me. So I saw him saying, kick these idiots or whatever in the chat. And I decided I'm going to take things into my own hands. And I told him, just because people don't have the time to sit here and grind this game every day 24/7 because they actually have lives outside. You decide to be a little bitch about it and complain each time someone that's a lower power level than you dies in the game that is mainly focused on power level. So the higher your power level, the easier the game gets, while you're running away like a little bitch, not healing anyone. And I also told him to go fuck himself. That's not relevant. I also sent him a mail that said, "Dear little bitch, get a fucking life," or something like that. Which I probably shouldn't have done, of course, but it was hilarious. There's a mail system in the game, by the way. You can send people mail for free, of course, but you can't use the word clan, which is weird in this game. But yeah, like I said, very, very good game. Probably, it's not all. Let me just clarify. Not all of the people in this game are like that. I've got a clan, or well, I can't call it a clan, a guild that has pretty chill people in there. They are not no lives. They actually have lives outside, so they understand if you can't play the game 24/7, you know. And we all enjoy the game. We all enjoy doing everything, and what. But there's this one thing that pisses me off. Me and my friend, we complain so much about this. It's the one thing that pisses both of us off equally, and that is, of course, the netcoding of the game. Have you ever played the game, decided to jump from the side of it, and it does what you're seeing on the screen right now? It changes into a bird, but you don't fly, you just sink, which is weird. You get stuck on edges in this game. It's got weird little invisible barriers that load the next area that you have to jump over, otherwise it takes you out of your sprint form. There's so many problems in this game, and you would think that they would, with all of the good reviews they've got and all of the people playing the actual game to this day, you must see how full the server is. You're telling me none of those people actually pay money for things in the game? Because I know they do. I've seen their skins. I know you can make Lucian, but most people just buy the Lucian. All right, I'm not privileged enough to do that because I'm broke, but you know, you can make it, but most people buy it. So with all of the money they've made, they haven't decided to fix edges in the game, which pisses me off. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say about this game. Like I said, lovely game, love grinding it. The people are little bitches, most of them, of course, especially the randoms you meet in raids. They will probably cry the most that you've ever heard someone cry in the game, because their parents never loved them and they live in the basement. They're fat, obese, and of course smell like fucking horseshit. No offense to people who are fat and obese. I'm sorry I'm comparing you again like to these little sewer rats. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. I enjoy the game, it's a fun game, and yeah, hopefully some better people will start playing the game, not these sensitive little twats. Oh yeah, by the way, the guy also told me after I messaged him, he's like, I'm gonna report you and your account's gonna get banned. Like they give a shit about one guy calling you trash when you are trash, living IRL trash, by the way. They don't give a shit about that. They wouldn't have put the voice chat or, well, chat box in if they cared about what people said. That's why they also have the censorship, of course. So I told him, do you really think they're gonna give a shit about this? And he went like, yeah, send me more messages. I want to report you. You're gonna get permabanned. And I laughed at the dude and told him that he thinks because he's got a high power level in the game, that the people making the game actually think something about him, actually know he exists. And he actually thought that he had power in this game. He actually thought that because he's a elite player, he has power in this game, which is the saddest thing I've ever heard. I think that's the first actual person I've met that lives in their mom's basement, wherever they live. And that's all I want to say. That's what I'm ending it off on. If you guys end up enjoying this video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, and notify yourself and upload my brilliant content by clicking the notification bell. Hopefully you guys should enjoy, because that is the most important part. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers!